1.1 linear equations. So the first problems just say to solve the equation. So 12, got 9x plus 11 is equal to 7x plus 1. How do we solve this?
Move over 7x and then move over a line.
Yep. I'm going to subtract 7x, so that's going to give me 2x. Subtract 11 gives me negative 10. And then what? Divide by 2. So x is equal to negative 5. And so since this leads to a single solution, this is conditional. Just to tie in the stuff from the notes. Uh, 18, 5 times x plus 3 plus 4x minus 3 equals negative parentheses 2x minus 4 plus 2. So I'm going to distribute the 5 with the x plus 3, and then on the other side of the equal sign, I'm going to distribute the negative before I start like combining stuff. So that's going to give me 5x plus 15 plus 4x minus 3 is equal to negative 2x plus 4 plus 2. And then on each side, I'm going to combine like terms. So 9x plus 12 on the left is equal to negative 2x plus 6 on the right. I'm going to add 2x and subtract 12. So that's going to give me 11x is equal to 6 minus 12 is negative 6. So x is equal to negative 6 over 11. And since that's equal to a specific solution, again, that's going to be conditional. Another one kind of like that. 26. Negative 8 times 3x plus 4 plus 6x is equal to 4 times x minus 8 plus 4x. So I'm going to distribute first again. Negative 24x minus 32 plus 6x is equal to 4x minus 32 plus 4x. Combine like terms, so I've got negative 18x minus 32 is equal to 8x minus 32. So subtract the 8x, so that's going to give me negative 26x is equal to, add the 32, so 0. So x is equal to 0. And again, that's conditional. Any questions about solving those? All right, the next thing says that we are going to determine whether each equation is an identity, a conditional equation, or a contradiction. So all the ones we've done so far have obviously been conditional. The instructions for the first ones don't say that you need to specify what they are, but just to get used to them, that's why I was writing what they were. But these ones, when it's all said and done, you have to say if it's an identity, conditional, or a contradiction. So an identity is one that leads to a true statement, something that's always true, like 0 equals 0, 5 equals 5, so on and so forth. Conditional is when you get x is equal to some number, so that's a one solution. And a contradiction is if you end up with something like 0 is equal to -5. So we still solve the problems the same way, just the answer is a word. So 32. 1/2 times 6x plus 20 is equal to x plus 4 plus 2 times x plus 3. So distribute. I've got 3x plus 10 is equal to x plus 4 plus 2x plus 6. So then I've got 3x plus 10 is equal to 3x plus 10. And if I were to subtract things, if I subtracted the 3x and I subtracted 10, I would end up with 0 equals 0. So which thing is this? Identity, conditional, or contradiction? Identity. (34) -8 times x plus 5 is equal to -8x minus 5 times x plus 8. All right, what do I do on this one? Distribute first. So I got -8x minus 40 equals -8x minus 5x minus 40. Now what? What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Combine.
Oh, I thought you said divide. That's why I was like, what? Okay, yeah, combine. -8x minus 40 equals -13x minus 40. Now what? Yep. Add 13, add 40, or 13x I should say. So it's 5x is equal to 0. So x equals 0. So what kind is this? Identity, conditional, or contradiction? Conditional. Let's see, 36. -6 times 2x plus 1 minus 3 times x minus 4 equals -15x plus 1. So distribute -12x minus 6 minus 3x plus 12 equals -15x plus 1. So I've got -15x plus 6 is equal to -15x plus 1. So add the 15, subtract 6. So that's 0 is equal to -5. So what is this? contradiction. Because that can never be true. All right, and then the last thing in this section that we are doing is to solve for the stated variable. And in any case where there's a denominator, it says assume that the denominator is not 0. So, 44. You have A is equal to 1/2 h times capital B plus lowercase b. And then it says to solve for h. And it tells you that this is the area of a trapezoid. So we're going to be moving stuff around to get h by itself. So I'm looking at everything that's happening to h, and I'm going to undo it to move it over. So h is being multiplied by 1/2, and it's being multiplied by this capital B plus lowercase b. So I'm being multiplied by 1/2, so to undo that, I would multiply by 2. So I would have 2a is equal to h times b plus b. To undo it being multiplied by the b plus b, I would divide by that. So h is going to be equal to 2a over b plus b. Let's see, 48. So this is a formula from statistics. Z is equal to x minus mu, which is a fancy looking u, basically a cursive u, divided by sigma, which kind of looks like a sideways 6. And it wants us to solve for x, and this is the it's a standardized value from stats is the formula. All right, any ideas how I solve for x? Yep, multiply what's on the bottom. So I'm going to have z times sigma is equal to x minus mu. And then what? Yep, add the mu. So x is equal to z times sigma plus mu. All right, and then the last one, so those are all like formulas, like mathematical formulas, and they're telling you like what variable to solve for out of the formula. The last one's just strictly say solve for x. So same thing, it's just a different section of them. So we've got 54, x minus 1 over 2a is equal to 2x minus a. All right, so I'm trying to get x by itself. I've got 1 on each side. So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply by 2a, because I'm going to try to get both x's on the other side, but I can't really do anything with that initially, so I've got to work kind of around it. So I'm going to have x minus 1 is equal to 2a times 2x minus a, and I'm going to have to go ahead and multiply that through. Over here, distribute it. So x minus 1 is equal to 4ax minus 2a squared. So once I get to this point, now I'm going to move my x terms to the left and my terms that do not have an x on them to the right. So I'm going to have x minus 4ax is equal to negative 2a squared plus 1. So now I have an x in both terms, or both pieces of this on the left, so I'm going to factor out an x. So I'm going to have x times 1 minus 4a is equal to negative 2a squared plus 1. And then now I can just divide by what's in parentheses. So x is equal to negative 2a squared plus 1, all divided by 1 minus 4a. Any questions about that? Ringing a bell, I've done this before, maybe. Okay, so then your problems are 19, 31, 35, 43. 43 looks really similar to 44, but it's asking for different variables, so just make sure you pay attention to that. 47 and 51.